What's going on, guys? This is Jabber Tech, and today we're talking about a dinosaur. This is the Tab S2, and I just wanted to make this video because it just came to my attention that sites like B&H and Costco are trying to get over 300 bucks for this tablet. It's 2019, guys. Do not pay $320 or $380 from Costco for this tablet. You do not get any more updates. You'll be on nougat forever, and at this price, that's an absolute ripoff. Shame on you, B&H. Shame on you, Costco. But if you check my list for Swappa, you can get this for about 200 bucks. If you have $319 to spend, also check out my Swappa link where you can get the Tab S3 for that price. And that's just an absolute steal in my opinion. But let's talk about this dinosaur here, and that is the Tab S2 from 2015. That's over 3.5 years ago, guys. Should you still buy this device in 2019? Let's go ahead and check it out together. It's a new year, and that means new tech, but sometimes new tech to us is not the newest tech that's out there. That's because prices are just getting super ridiculous for new technology, and sometimes we just can't swing it. So the Tab S2 still has a market. I'm still using this Tab S2, and should you buy it in 2019, I'm going to talk about the main specs, but if you want to check out all the specifications, check my link down below and pause the video, read the side panel where you can check out some of the specs. I usually don't talk about dinosaur specs, they're pretty much extinct, but I'm just going to give you my thoughts about using this in 2019. How's the processor? How's the screen? How's the battery? How's the performance? I'm going to let you guys know all of that in this short video, so give me 5 or so minutes and we'll talk about the Tab S2 together, and we can continue talking about it down in the description. First thing I want to say is, who is this tablet for? This tablet is a perfect commuter tablet. This is a perfect tablet for school. This is a perfect tablet for the kids. This is a perfect tablet for the couch surfer, and this is a perfect tablet to put in your car, an Android Auto device. That's right, I'm using this as Android Auto in my car, and nothing beats having a 9.7-inch device in your car, a touch panel at that. Really awesome. This does have GPS built in, so the navigation is perfect on this. Now that we got that out of the way, what's the performance like? Well, I do have to say that I've just been using this, as I mentioned, for Android Auto, and I do use it as a couch surfer, so I do surf the web, I watch some YouTube videos, I watch Netflix, I do the basics that most people will do, and for that purpose, this tablet is great. If you're a super hardcore person and you play a ton of games, Fortnite will not play on this, so don't ask me in the comments below. This is not for the gamer. This tablet will leave you disappointed. But if you just want a basic tablet, maybe you want something at home to throw around or give to the kids, this is perfect. Or if you want to just keep it in your bag for your commute on the train or the subway or the bus, you just want this because it's nothing that you really have to worry about. It's not super expensive, and it is really durable thanks to this plastic back on here. Unlike the newer Samsung tablets that have glass backs, this one you really don't have to put a case on it. All you have to do is put a cheap tempered glass on it and you're pretty much good to go. That's what I've been doing, and for the past 3 years, the only problems that I have with it, it's a little discoloration on the volume and the power button, and then some minor scratches on the aluminum here. Now this tablet has 32 gigs built in, and if you're just using it as a simple couch surfing tablet, it's perfect, but you do have a micro SD card slot built into this, so you can add storage at a pretty cheap price. And I also have a data card in here, a cheap data SIM that I've been using, so it's been really enjoyable just to have something on the go. Next, what I want to talk about is the screen, guys, because you're looking at this panel more times than not when you're using the tablet, and that's why I recommend a flagship tablet or a flagship device over some low-end or mid-range devices, because usually they skimp on the screen. That's where the main cost is for these devices, and if you're staring at a tablet, if you're using it for multimedia, you really want a decent screen. I had the Tab A for a little bit, but I had to get rid of it just because that screen was absolutely garbage. So I always recommend going with the last year's or a couple years ago flagship versus low ends, just because you get some better specs on it. And this is a Super AMOLED panel, so while it might not rival that of the newer devices, it's not meant to, but it's still really enjoyable for Netflix, for watching YouTube videos and doing whatnot. Talking about multimedia, movies, YouTube, etc. looks great on this, but the bottom firing speakers on this are not the loudest, so they will not rock the Casbah. And let me give you a little sample. And this is at the loudest right now, guys, so really disappointing. And just a disclaimer, I did have the 42mm before, so if you want to check out that unboxing. But it is loud enough if you're in a quiet environment. But if you're outside, say you like to take this to the park, really plug in some headphones, and thankfully you do have a headphone jack on this, so plug in those headphones and you'll absolutely have a great experience with this. So let's talk about other experiences that you might have and might not be so great. That's performance. I do have very bare minimum loaded on this, guys. I do not have all that many apps. As I mentioned, I use it for Android Auto, for music, and for surfing the web. And if you just put the basics on here, you will be fine. There's no lag on this. But if you do load a lot of applications, if you load a lot of apps, you will not have a great time because it will lag from time to time, and that's to be expected. It is over 3 years old, running some pretty old specs, but thankfully Samsung did put in 3 gigabytes of RAM, so that's helping out a little bit. But if you're doing basics like surfing the web and doing whatever, it is pretty fast and you will not have any issues with it. It can still handle the latest applications just fine. Next one I want to talk about is battery life, guys. Now again, I did not purchase this new a couple days ago. I've had this for 3.5 years, and I can still say I get about half a day if I'm using this in beast mode. But if I'm not, if I'm just using it from time to time and I leave it on standby, the standby drain is pretty good. You're not going to lose all that much. And in that case, I would probably charge it every 2 to 3 days. So if you are using it as a couch surfer, expect to charge it, I would say, every 2 days. And that's not bad for a tablet you're not using all the time, every day or day. Now, if you do buy this new, let me know what your battery life is down below, but I really don't remember what it was back in the day. And I do know that it is running a little bit more power-hungry CPU in this versus the newer ones. So let me know down in the comments below if you just purchased this, how's your battery life? But for a 3.5-year-old tablet, I'd say battery life is pretty good. Speaking of battery life, guys, when you do run out of battery life, it charges with micro USB on the bottom, and it is a slow charge. I like to call this trickle charging. Don't expect to plug this in, get some quick charging, and take it on the go. If it is dead and you want to leave the house, you're really out of luck unless you plug in a battery pack and keep it to a power source at all times. That's just something to note. That's just something I do not enjoy about this tablet. And really, that's the only thing I don't enjoy about this tablet, guys. Other than that, guys, why I like this, you do have some modern comforts. You do have a fingerprint scanner, and it does work pretty fast. It's not the fastest in today's standards, but again, for 3.5 years old, that's still pretty good. Wi-Fi performance is good on this, guys. It was a flagship device, so it did have the latest and greatest 3.5 years ago, and sometimes a lot of the budget devices kind of cheap out on those radios as well. So that's why if you are on a budget, try to pick up a flagship device. So that's really been it, guys. Oh, before I leave, I know a bunch of you are going to ask me, I'm using Nova Launcher with Drawer On Icon Pack. The wallpaper is just random from Google Wallpapers, so I don't know where to get it from. And other than that, I mean, the tablet is still really good. It's still running pretty smooth. I have no complaints with this tablet. Keep in mind using it as a secondary tab or a couch surfer. If you are using this as an everyday beast mode type of tablet, save up a little dough and get something a little better. This way you won't be disappointed with it. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions about this tablet, let me know in the comments below. I always appreciate it. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.